Hello everybody, it is Jamarcus and I'm here with the second week of the RQA. We lost last week because I played pretty bad, so let's see if we can do better this week. We are faced off against Leo, who has a triple regen core with a Tinglu. So pretty bulky team, but then also Terrakion and Ogerpon are incredibly potent offensive threats. Terrakion especially I have nothing for. It really has super effective moves for everything. Keldeo can help against it, but otherwise it's just going through every Pokemon on my team. So I either need Quagsire, Keldeo, or a Terra Carbink to help against this thing. Otherwise, my offensive threats look quite good against their team. Darkrai really struggles with Tinglu and Terrakion, but the rest of the team it's quite good against. And then Enamorus, Moonblast is a pretty free click this game. Depends on their Terra captains, but Empoleon's really their only resist. And also Slowking Galar, but they don't really love taking Earth Powers, even though this thing has a lot of Spadef and this thing as well. Earth Powers are doing a lot of damage. Excadrill, pretty free spins. Rotom doesn't want to take an Earthquake. They have a Tinglu, so hazards are going up. They don't have great hazard removal. They have Serena with Spin, and I think Altaria gets Defog. So if these two don't show up, I know that it can't remove hazards. I don't think Empoleon gets Defog. Which means I'm getting up my hazards because Ogerpon hates having hazards against it. So I want to get hazards up, so I want to bring a Spiker, so either Quagsire or Carbink are coming to this game, and then Drill is definitely coming. It helps a lot with Slowking. It's also decent into their other regen mons, good into Rotom, even decent into Empoleon. Keldeo really struggles with their top 3 regen core. It struggles to break through. It has to predict if it's choiced, but it's just so good for the bottom 2, which are, I think, the best Pokemon into my team. So Keldeo is very bad and very good. Rotom Heat helps a lot with Ogerpon Hearthflame. They can Mold Breaker Stomping Tantrum me, which only kills me when I'm max defense, if it's on a max roll. Otherwise, Rotom's quite getting to it, but it kind of struggles to do anything back unless I want to click Overheat into it or Thunder Wave. Metagross, I just didn't bring. I thought it was pretty bad into these bottom 2. Dragalge I thought was great defensively, also helps me a lot against Ogerpon. It's decent into these offensive Pokemon too, and it gives me a T-Spike Absorber in case they go that route. And then my Terra Captain, which was the last Pokemon I brought, was Carbink. I thought Carbink was fantastic here, sets up spikes. If I Terra Ghost, which is what I brought, what kills me? Looking at their team, if I'm Spadef with Iron Defense, nothing really kills me. Tinglu Throat Chop's not doing that much. They can Ruination me. I didn't bring Terra Fighting, even though that stronger Body Press would be really nice. It just makes me really weak to Hurricane, makes me weaker to a Psychic move from this thing as well. And then Terra Fairy would be an option to bring, I guess, but I liked Terra Ghost better. So, here's the team I brought. I brought an Excadrill with just enough speed to be outspeeding, I think it's a Serena? Yeah. And then Earthquake Rock Slide hits their whole team. I got Rocks to set up Rocks and then Spin to get rid of them. I have Citrus Berry just because I couldn't think of another item to bring on this thing. I thought maybe AV, I'll lose Rocks, put on Iron Head, but I really liked Rocks this game, so I went with Citrus Berry. Shucca Berry maybe for Earthquake from one of these two, but I think Citrus Berry was fine. Alright, Enamorus, a pretty fun set here. I am pretty slow with Modest. I have enough speed so that after an Agility, I think I'm faster than every Scarfer on their team. So one might want to check that though. Definitely most Scarfers. Maybe not Scarf Torn, but definitely +1 Ogerpon at least. So I have Agility, Calm Mind, Weakness Policy with Moonblast Earth Power. Moonblast Earth Power hits their whole team for neutral damage, unsurprisingly. That type combo is great offensively. Calm Mind lets me set up Weakness Policy against this thing's Sludge Bomb pretty reasonably. You can also set up on this thing's Knockoff, or not Knockoff, sorry. If this thing is an Ice move, Icy Wind, which would lower my speed, which would be bad for me, but it's still an option. Generally, I'm planning on setting up Weakness Policy against Slowking. After I click Calm Mind, they click Sludge Bomb, do about 60%, I sweep through their team. So, Then I brought Max Defense with AV, Dragalge. Max Defense helps me with Ogrepon. AV helps me with their regen trio. Max Defense also lets me live a move from Terrakion, lets me live a move from Tinglu. I'm min speed, so that I have slower flip turns than Alamomola. I'm still slower than Chili Reception if they're not running min speed, or if they are running min speed. Sledge Bomb just to do damage, Dragon Tail to phase people out. I have a lot of hazards, so Dragon Tail is nice. Scald because nothing on the team really wants to get burned. It helps a lot into these bottom two, and then getting a burn on one of their regen mons is also nice. And then Flip Turn just to pivot. For Darkrai, I outspeed their whole team. I just have Nasty Plot 3 attacks with Expert Belt, a pretty standard set. Dark Pulse for Stab does good neutral damage into their team. Ice Beam for Tinglu and a stronger hit on Torn. And then Focus Blast for Empoleon and these two again. Depends if Ice Beam would have killed Tinglu. Expert Belt just to get some extra damage. I don't actually hit a lot of their Pokemon super effectively, like 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So a decent chunk, 2/3. That's the Darkrai set. And then the Rotom set is a little unconventional. I have Volt Switch just to pivot. I'm max defense, max HP, so that I'm living hits from Terrakion and Tinglu. This thing was actually built to beat Tinglu. I can Wisp it, I can set up Reflect, I have Pain Split, which is going to give me a lot of health back. Their team has a lot of high HP stats on their team, so Pain Split is going to be really nice. And then Reflect just helps the rest of my team, but also helps this thing beat Tinglu. Then Volt Switch around on their team once Tinglu's dead. And then the team mascot, Carbink. This thing is going to be so unbelievably good and important in this game. Max Spadef with Iron Defense. Spadef just to let me, after Terra, live 3 Hurricanes or Bleak Windstorms so that I can rest on it. I'm Resto Chesto, but even clicking rest after I've lost my Chesto is a fine play once I'm set up. Spikes, just because spikes are great this game. And then Iron Defense Body Press. Yes, I'm walled by Rotom. Yes, I'm clicking Body Press into a Slowking, but what is my alternative? If I have Earth Power, I'm doing about 10% into this thing, so Body Press is doing more. And if I Moonblast, then I guess I hit Rotom for 25% or whatever, but now I'm still walled by this. So I think Spikes was much better this game. Before I was looking at Rest, I was actually looking at Skill Swap. I could Skill Swap Regen and take their Regen from them so they don't get it, but then I do when I switch out, which was interesting, but I thought it was a bit niche, and Resto Chesto just seemed a lot better. So, onto the game. They bring pretty much what I expected. I didn't expect them to bring all 3 regen mons. I thought 2 of them would show up, and then a Terra Captain, and then these 2, but they just didn't bring a Terra Captain. They brought all 3 regen mons. So, seeing Alamomola being able to wish past a Tinglu, pretty scary. But I think I can handle it with my Rotom Heat. So, off lead, I'm looking at a potential Scarf Terrakion, Close Combat, Stone Edge, Earthquake, Close Combat, Stone Edge, Earthquake. It hits my entire team super effectively, which means I want to Terra Carbink turn 1. I need this thing into a Ghost type so that I'm not getting too KO'd by Scarf Terrakion on everything. So, I lead Carbink, they lead Tinglu. Not a fantastic lead. I have to Terra. They can set up spikes, I can set up spikes, I can Iron Defense Body Press and threaten this thing, but it's a little early for Carbink to start setting up. It's not going to sweep with Iron Defense Body Press quite yet, although there's no Rotom, which means Iron Defense Body Press is definitely an option for the late game. So, I Terra because I don't want to get Earthquaked or Heavy Slammed, even worse, and I Iron Defense because I figured getting a big hit on this thing would be nice. I could have clicked Spike there as well. That would have been a fine play. Me clicking Iron Defense here really threatens this Tinglu, makes it want to switch out. So they switch into Slowking, which is not surprising to me. And I do 14%, and they reveal Black Sludge, which is nice, which tells me they're not Boots, so I know hazards are really good this game. So maybe I could have doubled there instead of clicking Body Press, but I got a lot of information that turn, so I think clicking Body Press was fine. I switched into Excadrill because it's my answer to this thing, and they click Sludge Bomb, which is surprising. But maybe they wanted to poison this thing because they realized how big of a threat it is to their team. although they did not know I had rest at this point. So I go Excadrill, and I set up rocks as they go Tinglu. I knew they were going to go Tinglu here, because they're not going to go Tornadus on an Earthquake. That's just pretty risky. They don't do a lot back to me anyways. So I figured they'd go Tinglu here. Maybe I could have made a double. But rocks are very, very good this game. So I would rather get them up than have to switch into a Tinglu. So I switch back to Carbink as I go for Stone Edge, predicting, I guess, one of my ground immunes. Revealing Stone Edge is really nice for me. So that tells me if I have a Reflect Up, I could set up Enamorous on Stone Edge with the weakness policy. So I go Carbink, and before they taunt me, I set up a Spike, but they're actually not taunting me. So I'm just going to start body pressing, going for damage. I get a crit, which is pretty nice. And then I'm just going to keep clicking body press, I think, to get some damage. This thing started to take a lot of chip because of hazards, although regen's going to get it back to full. And then I switch here because I don't really want to start setting up on that thing, although they're probably going to click Chilly Reception, so maybe Iron Defense was a better play there. So I switch into Excadrill as they click Chilly, and then they go Terrakion. Well, it's in, and my Carbink has taken chip, and there's 2 spikes on the ground, so I'm not living 2 hits from this thing. I'm pretty confident they're Choice Scarf, so they're going to outspeed my Excadrill here, no matter what, even if I was Scarf Rocks for some reason. So if they click Close Combat here, maybe I can go into Enamorous, but I'm slower, so if they're not Scarf, they're just going to outspeed me next turn. So I really don't have a play, so I just decide to sack Excadrill. There goes my Rapid Spinner. These spikes are up for the rest of the game. I was okay with that. It kind of sucks for Carbink. It really sucks for Dragalge. It kind of sucks for Darkrai. But my Enamorous, which is my Wincon, and Carbink, which can rest, don't mind spikes too bad. So Excadrill goes down. I clicked Earthquake there just in case they started this setup. So I go Dragalge, because I was very confident they were Choice Scarf. So I go Dragalge, and I think I just click Flip Turn here, because I figured they would switch out. Yep. So this thing's starting to take chip. I bring Carbink back in. This thing is low, so I want to heal up. But I click Iron Defense first. I figured if I click Iron Defense, nothing on their team can kill me. I can click Rest the next turn. They bring in this thing, they reveal that they're boots because they don't take Stealth Rocks damage. They hit a Hurricane and confuse me. That could have been bad if I hit myself. What might have gotten in range of the next Hurricane. But they just keep clicking Hurricane. I'm clicking Iron Defense. It's time to set up. Carbink is activated. I hit myself in Confusion. That kind of sucks. But I click Body Press. I just start doing damage to this thing. It's starting to take actual chip because it's getting below that 33%. I Iron Defense because I want to do a bit more damage to this thing. They're trying to poison me. I keep clicking Body Press. And this is how the game looks for quite a bit. I rest because I want to be careful of poisons and crits. They click Chilly Reception to switch out. And then they probably want to taunt me with Tinglu so that I can't keep clicking Rest. Me being faster than Tinglu is really nice. They didn't speed creep me. And then they go back to Slowking. Then I've now gotten their Regenerator back up. But I'm doing decent damage now that I'm +6 defense. This thing taking chip is really nice, which means it's dying to an Earth Power. And then they go into Tornadus, they confuse me, and I hit myself. So they've hit 3 Hurricanes now and gotten 2 Confusions, so they've gotten quite lucky with that. So they hit the 4th Hurricane, and I crit Body Press, which somehow kills this thing. This thing had no physical bulk, they had speed investment, special attack investment, and special defense investment, but no HP. So that was actually a high roll crit too. So that was very lucky, so I was just complaining about them hitting 4 Hurricanes and getting 2 Confusions, but I got pretty lucky too. So I'm confused now, I'm at 35% HP. I need to get a rest off. But I still click Body Press because I figured they're not killing me. They don't kill me with anything else on their team either. They go Ogerpon. I would rather just kill this thing. I guess I could click rest, but I just want this thing dead. The Ivy Cudgel, and I hit myself in confusion. At this point, I'm like, okay, maybe I should rest. Terrakion is still a big threat. I still think it's Scarf. Looking at my team, Scarf Stone Edge now that Drill is dead, kind of just wins the game. So I should definitely be clicking rest here. So they click Ivy Cudgel and they crit me. Which, you know, it was bound to happen eventually. With all the moves Carbink was taken. Generally, I say our luck evened out. I crit and killed Tornadus in one hit. They prevented Carbink from 6-0ing. Well, 5-0ing, I guess. So Carbink goes down. I go Dragalge. I figure this thing probably has coverage for me of some sort. Maybe Zen Headbutt, maybe Stopping Tantrum. So I thought, oh, should I Scald on the Terrakion or the Tinglu? Should I Flip Turn? But I think Sludge Bomb is just the safe play. They Zen Headbutt. They don't flinch me, which is very nice, and Sludge Bomb takes them down. But now Terrakion is looking pretty dangerous, because this was my next answer for Terrakion. Now I really just have Rotom, which can live a Scarf Stone Edge and Wisp it, which is pretty much my last line of defense. I click Wisp against them as they Stone Edge. They're doing decent damage. And then they switch. And I think I get a Reflect up here. Yeah. I Volt Switch, which doesn't quite kill them. And I bring out Darkrai. Sludge Bomb's going to do a lot of damage to me. But Darkrai from this point looks fantastic. They go Terrakion. I clicked Ice Beam because I did not want to give this thing Justified. Ice Beam would have killed that thing anyways. So I click Ice Beam. The next one kills. I'm looking at this thing. If they're Scarfed, they're going to click Stone Edge or Close Combat. I can't switch into that. I have a Reflect up still, so the next turn I could go into Enamorous, but I don't want Enamorous to take a Stone Edge and then die to the next one through Reflect. Same thing with Rotom. I think Rotom would actually live 2 Stone Edges. It would be close. Maybe not. So I just decided, you know what, I'll stay in. I'll sack Darkrai if they're Scarf. If they happen to not be Scarf, I'll Ice Beam and kill them. And they weren't Scarf the whole time. So Darkrai looks fantastic from this point. Aloe takes hazards, which tells me, oh, well, it's probably Assault Vest then. Which means they're not Wish, which means Tinglu is not getting back up, which is nice. Although there's hazards up now, so it wasn't anyways. I Dark Pulse just to get some chip on this thing. I want chip so that it's dying to Enamorous and taking more from Volt Switch. And they reveal that they are specially defensive and Assault Vest. Liquidation doesn't kill me, which is nice. If they had Play Rough, that would have killed me. They sack Tinglu as I click another Dark Pulse. I thought about clicking Nasty Plot that turn, which would have been interesting, but I didn't. I just want to keep doing damage to this Alamomola. I figure they're probably going to flip turn here, and they do. They just want to start getting their regen back up because they have no health on their team right now. So this thing's in, and I decide I don't think Rotom's going to win this game. So I pretty much need an Enamorous to win this game. It's time to set up. I'm going to click Calm Mind to outspeed their whole team, so I do not need to click Agility. Calm Mind lets me take a Sludge Bomb a bit more comfortably. Even if they poison me, it would be fine. If they crit me, though, I'd probably just lose the game. Although it would be close. I Calm Mind, they Sludge Bomb, there's no crit. Is there a poison? I get Weakness Policy, there's no poison. So Earth Power and Moonblast are going to win this game. Enamorous, once again, being the MVP. This thing is a fantastic draft Pokemon. I have no regrets drafting this Pokemon at all. So, there's week 2. We take the win. It's a little close. Scarf Terrakion was a very good matchup into my team. I'm lucky they didn't bring it, though. I think they brought Mirror Herb Terrakion, which is maybe for Excadrill. So, there's a bit of luck on both sides. I crit the Tornadus. They crit my Carbink. They got some confusions. Generally, I think that was a really good game, though. I think we both played well. I think if this was Wish, Aloe, and Tinglu had a bit of health left so it didn't die to hazards, it definitely could have been a different game. But from this point, what are they going to do? Moonblast and Earth Power are chewing through their team once they lost their fast Pokemon. So, pretty happy with how I played. Very happy with the team I brought. I think it was very good. I think maybe something could have been different on Dragalge. Maybe Expert Belt wasn't the best item on Darkrai. But for the most part, very happy with Rotom's set, very happy with Carpink's set. Drill probably could have had a different item, but the Enamorous set was pretty cool. So, there's week 2. I've got the PHA game and the PUDL game tomorrow, so you can expect to see those videos shortly. We'll see if we can go 7-1 in PUDL. We'll have a nice placement for playoffs. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later. Bye-bye. Editor Jamarcus here. I'm just now realizing that my nickname for Enamorous is not an anagram. There's an E in Enamorous. There's not an E in a Sour Man. So I'm gonna get a new nickname for that thing. Expect that next week. See ya.